many of us are thinking about what it is we want to create next year, um, what it is that we would like to have, and all of this stuff, right? This is very normal. This is time of the year. We're starting to just reflect on the past year, and we're starting to look forward of like, what's it going to be like next year? So when we start like kind of goal setting and planning for the future, we often are taught to do this from a very external place. So next year I want to, and we'll even use the words like manifest, which I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a minute too. Next year I want to manifest a partner. Next year, I want to manifest 6 figures. Next year, I want to manifest, a really solid morning ritual and a regular routine with going to the gym or doing yoga every day. And I'm going to lose 10 pounds, right? So as you can hear, all of this stuff is like this external stuff. And then we go and we get excited and we start doing it because we're like, yeah, it's a new year and we've got it and we're going and we feel excited. And then naturally we fall off from these things. One, because we probably made so many goals, and 2, we just kind of were answering that question, why am I not happier? Oh, I just need to lose 10 pounds. Why am I not happier? Oh, I just need a partner. And we're not really diving into the depths of who we are and our heart and our soul to find out what we want. And so again and again, we're just chasing these external things. And we either arrive there and still feel that hole, still feel incomplete, still feel unhappy, and we feel embarrassed and ashamed about that. I don't get this. I did everything right. Or we fall off the track from our goal and we feel like we're losers, we're not good enough, we're procrastinators, we're just not motivated. We just need more motivation techniques. So either way, we end up feeling pretty shitty about ourselves. And unfortunately, it's given a really bad rap for goal setting. I find a lot of especially really soulful spiritual people are like, I don't want to do that. It's going to get me out of the present moment. I'm not about goal setting. And I actually find goal setting to be an extremely spiritual, extremely grounding practice. However, it needs to be approached from a more holistic, and when I say holistic, I mean that word whole, WHOLE, approach, and really allowing ourselves to uncover and discover who we need to be and who we really are. And what I will tell you is that when we start looking at goals and our desires from this perspective, it changes what we want on the external. It sometimes radically, it's sometimes the opposite of what we thought we wanted on the external. So we're already 15 minutes in, so I am going to dive into this. And just so you guys know, I'm probably going to hop on to Facebook Live a lot over the next week and talk more and more about this. But I want to make sure I get to this. I have created a 4-week experience. It's called the Changemakers Collective, to bring together like-minded, soulful people who really get, or at least if they don't get it now, there's something deep inside in their soul and in their heart that gets that when they do the work to rise to their potential, to develop their self-confidence, to really see who they are and what they have to offer this world, that this is not just a selfish for me act, but this is actually us stepping into what I think is all of our innate why we're here, and that's to be change makers. And just so you guys know, when I say change maker, I don't necessarily mean you need to now, oh, this is going to lead you to starting a nonprofit, or you're going to move to Africa and start, donating all your time. A change maker is someone who is so intimately connected with who they are and what they want to bring to the world that they are in a place of reverence so deeply that they are just messily, and I say this messily, moving forward in honor of that. And because of that, their very presence becomes change making to people. This can happen on the level of your family, just influencing your family as you start to get more connected with who you are, how you want to show up, what your values are, how you want to treat other people, how you want to be treated, and you become a stand for that, and you start showing up in that way. This influences your friends and family. And this can also happen on a bigger community level and even a more global level. And there's a growth phase to that, right? The more we step into it, it's like you said, the more you rise, the more you shine. And well, with that, that also creates more illumination, and that illuminates the world. So this, the Changemakers Collective, that's why all my programs are the Changemakers something, is that I really, truly, wholeheartedly feel that when we do this work from a really honest place, very courageously, and take the time to really understand who we are and what we want from the inside out, we become change makers. We build a better world. And this collective is not just a 4-week experience where we're going to do that work, where we're going to really look, and we're going to break it down too. Like, it's not like what we want to do with the rest of our lives, but we're just going to look at next year. Just putting one foot in front of the other. Who do we want to be? What do we want to do? What lights us up? What are we curious about? And, you know, what are we committed to doing and becoming in honor of that? Even if the outcome isn't exactly as we wanted, even if it's messy. And so we have that 4-week journey, which even includes group coaching. And then after that, it's a year-long community. So there'll be a Facebook community that I'm going to be very committed to being active in. We will meet every quarter to reconvene and just check in with each other. So it really is intended to be a support system for people to step up into who they really are, what they really want to create, who they really want to be, from a very soulful and grounded and honest and messy. And this shit is hard, you guys. It's not always like perfect and unicorns. Personal development is work, and it can be really messy at times. And we can, you know, the itty bitty shitty committee is something I talk about a lot. It's like that voice in our head can get even louder when we really dive into this work. And so for me, I have found that community is essential, because if not, it's so easy to say, I don't have time, or this is weird, or whatever amazing excuses that we can come up with to say, not right now. So it also includes the Fulfillment Formula Journal and Companion Planner, which is a 242-page book that I wrote in like a month. This whole thing, the collective, has been something that has been pulling me forward. It has been a lot of work, but it just feels like, yes, 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 this needs to happen. I'm going to show you guys something. This is not the final copy. This is like when you write a book and you send it to the publisher, they send you one that's like the messy copy. But I just want you to see how thick it is. Like, this is for real. And the collective includes this. It gets mailed to you. The actual one has like gold binding. It's really beautiful. And it's also hardcover, and this one's soft. It's so awesome. I'm really proud of myself. I'm really proud of my partner, JP, who did the design work on this. So it includes that. And it's all of this is $97. So I also wanted to make this a very easy yes for people, where people didn't have to go like, oh, is this the right time to spend this kind of money? It's $97. It includes the 4-week experience, the journal, as well as the year-long community. And on top of that, what was I going to say? And on top of that, I don't know what on top of that was, but but basically, it's a really great opportunity for everyone to close their year, myself included, in this it's kind of the Changemakers Collective, and just the way I work in the world. Anyone who's done anything with me knows that I really blend the soulful with the strategic. So it's not like we're eliminating the strategic and eliminating logic. No, that's going to be part of that for sure. We got to schedule things in. We got to map things out. That's a big part of it. And no matter how incredible we get with all of that, overwhelm will still come. Self-doubt will still come. Us wanting to answer the question of what we really want still needs to be answered. And so this 4-week experience is really about diving into the depths of that. And I have a lot of guided processes and questions and things that are unique to me. So even if you're like, I do stuff like this all the time, the Fulfillment Formula is 100% my creation, totally new. No one else has guided anyone through anything like this. Let's see. So one of the things about the Fulfillment Formula, let's see. So there's 4 elements to it. It's called SOUL. And SOUL stands for, the S is standards of integrity. The O is objectives of life. The U is uncovering limiting beliefs, and the L is life design. So the fulfillment formula, if you look at that kind of like, imagine a house being built, those 4 elements are the foundation, the structure. Or I should say the first 3 are, and then life design is kind of like your unique blueprint, so your unique design of the house. See, and even as I just describe this to you guys, this is a really smart, it's a formula, it's a pathway. I'm not saying it is the pathway, but it is a pathway to better understanding fulfillment and how this can be a reality in your life. And it's super creative and fun. It's smart, it's deep, and it's creative. So if you're into smart, deep, creative things, you'll probably like this. But we break it down. We go into what are your standards of integrity. This is all about your values. This is all about who you need to be to create the life that you want. We focus so much with goals on what we need to do that we forget that the most fundamental, the most important thing is, who do I need to be to actually write a book? Who do I need to be to actually make that amount of money? Who do I need to be in a relationship that I consider extraordinary? Who do I need to be? How do I need to show up? What are my values? What kind of character do I need to work on? And this is so essential. And this is something that in goal setting is just not even talked about. We also go into objectives of life, and this is going to dive deep into answering that, like, what's next? What do I want? You know, I know that this can be like sometimes what stops us from moving forward and creating the things we want to create is we're like, but what do I want to create? And then unlearning limiting beliefs is diving into some work around our beliefs have a huge impact in our perspective, and thus have a huge impact in our behaviors and our choices and ultimately our outcomes. So if we do all this work, but we don't do some work on really, and by uncovering your beliefs, you guys, this does not mean that you like need to go out in a jungle and like do, it's not intense. You can really, I have belief work that you can do in 5 minutes, that you can do on your own. You don't have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for a coach for it either. If you have that luxury, it's great. But it's just about really looking at some of the beliefs that you're holding that might be holding you back from having the money you want, or the partner you want, or the success you want to create. And then the last thing is the really fun part, and this is life design. And I've broken this down into 8 categories. We have 8, what I call, or 9 categories, 9 core aspirations of life. So there are 9 core aspirations that I have found over the years of coaching and teaching people that we're all after. And they're associated with 9 major areas of life. So for instance, one of the aspirations is purpose. And I find that no matter who you are or where you live in the world, we all desire to have a sense of purpose in our life. And that is connected to the major life category of career and business and or calling. Another one, for instance, is vitality, and that is connected to health and fitness. And so we have all these, they go down creativity, influence, and we really design our life by going deep into each of these 9 core aspirations, breaking it down so that we can really look at our life and really understand it. And then we do that using something I call the 6 dynamics. So it's a very in-depth process that is, even though I say in-depth, that doesn't mean that it's going to take a lot of time. It's just in-depth. It's really looking at your life from a very holistic perspective and looking at it like it's a piece of art, because really our life is the most amazing masterpiece we will ever embark on. We are all artists, and when we feel a sense of not feeling whole and not feeling fulfilled, it's because I think that we all want to create art out of our life. And if it's just feeling like we're on the hamster wheel or we're just getting through the day, then we're not tapping into that inner artist that wants to wake up each day and make beauty. I think that's really innate to all of us. And so my hope is that this formula, even though it's called the fulfillment formula, and that's very like left brain logic, it's a very creative and poetic way, but smart, to look at your life and look at the goals and the dreams and desires that you have in not only a very grounded way, but a very kind of almost even ethereal and creator, magical kind of person way. So you get the best of both worlds. And yeah, I would love for all of you to be a part of that. And if anything I've said has resonated with you, again, this whole experience, the book included, the year-long thing, $97. I intend to blow you all away. I will show up fully for it. And again, I want this to be a really easy yes for people. So if you're like, okay, I'm intrigued, I want to hear more, visit my website. You can literally just go to my homepage and it'll say learn more, and it will take you to the Changemakers Collective. So you could just go to ambercampion.com. Anyone who's online right now who knows me, will you just write my website in so people can click that? Again, it's just ambercampion.com. You can see the spelling of my name right up there. And when you go to that homepage, there'll be a link that says learn more. It'll take you to the Changemakers Collective page that will give you a lot of details. The other thing I want to let you know is with the dates, it starts November 27th. So if you're in, register soon, because I start shipping books on November 9th, and they'll take a week depending on where you are in the world. Like Australia, it'll take 2 weeks. USA, it'll take 5 to 7 days. So you want to order sooner than later so that you can get the journal sent to you and hopefully arrive to you by the 27th. And again, it's 4 weeks, so it ends around December 18th. But if any of the times or dates don't work for you, no problem. Everything is recorded. And I'm going to have a private page. It's going to be called the Clubhouse, and you guys will password protected, where everything that we've done will be recorded, and you can go back if you miss something and watch it at a time that's convenient for you. And I also have that because I think you'll find that some of the stuff we go through, you're going to want to go through again. You're going to want to revisit because it's really interesting and helpful and insightful. So should I do this? I will, why not? So I'm gonna read to you guys a couple quotes. So the fulfillment formula, I have been teaching and coaching to people for the past 2 years. I have never done it in this capacity, in this kind of collective capacity, and certainly not at this price. Like one-on-one coaching with me is anywhere from, I think, well, right now my online programs are $6,000 to $10,000 to do one-on-one coaching with me. So for me to have a program that's $97, this is really about like, I just want to get this out there and hang out with cool people and be in a collective and talk about awesome shit that I love talking about. So here are some things, just if you're still on the fence at all, that past clients have said about what they've gotten from the fulfillment formula. So this is from Marcella. She lives in Brazil. She's an integrative doctor and speaker and just an all-around incredible human being. And she says, the fulfillment formula made all the difference in building a business that supports my dream life instead of a life that revolves solely around my business. What I loved most about working with Amber was how much clarity I had to see myself thoroughly and what I wanted to create in my life as a whole. Through her support and constant positive feedback, I was able to shed some old layers I was struggling to let go of on my own. Now I feel that my being, my relationships, and my life are a reflection of my true heart's desire. I've become more of myself, feeling more enthusiastic and creative. The biggest business and life takeaway that I've implemented is sovereignty over my calendar. As a doctor, my schedule was a nightmare prior to working with Amber. It's now set up in a way that feels spacious, focused, and fluid. I love these testimonials. I'll read one more. I feel a little nerdy reading them, but it's good because it's good for you guys to hear feedback from people. And of course, I'm going to be like, the fulfillment formula is great. I created it. But I think it's good for people to hear what other people got out of doing this. So this one comes from Talita, and she's the founder of Green for All. She says, the fulfillment formula changed my life. Before working with Amber, I was the kind of person that manifested all frustrations onto my body. I got to the point where physical pain was keeping me from living fully and connecting with others in the way I wanted. The coaching process allowed for me to let go of many deep beliefs that I have and gave me effective tools to work in difficult situations. Jesus, right? That's so good. I discovered a connection to my own sense of spirituality and how it's clearly connected to my line of work, which is sustainability. Today, I have no pain. I deeply love people, and I do work that is aligned with my soul purpose. I'm changing not just my own life, but also the world. I'm a change maker. And I want to close with that. This is why I call my programs things like the Changemakers Collective, because really when we focus on really lighting up our own life and getting honest and true with what we want and who we need to be to actually create that, and leaning in not just to the fun parts of creation, but also the messy parts of creation, you become a change maker. It's who we are at our hearts. And when we really feel that and step into that, that is fulfillment. So if anyone has any questions, I'll stay on for a moment and answer them here live. You can also ask questions and I'll kind of come back and check, and I can answer those in other Facebook Lives. And again, yeah, if this interests you, check out ambercampion.com, and that will lead you to a link that will tell you all about the Changemakers Collective, and you can enroll right there. All right, you guys have a great evening. I did pretty well. This is only 33 minutes. And I'll be on and off on Facebook Lives over the next couple of weeks, so I'll be seeing more of you. Thanks for being here. Bye.